Hello everyone and welcome back to ImTechnos. In this video, we will understand Amazon Bedrock prompt flows, why it is needed, and how beginners can use it to build AI chatbots easily. Imagine you are building a basic AI chatbot. This chatbot could be for customer support or HR questions or maybe a learning assistant. The chatbot should do only four things: take user input, use a prompt, call an AI model, and give a response. Now, here is a challenge. You don't want to write complex code. You don't want to manage servers. You just want something simple, visual, and easy to control. This is exactly where Amazon Bedrock Prompt Flows helps us. So, what exactly is Amazon Bedrock Prompt Flows? In simple words, prompt flows is a visual way to build AI workflows. You decide where the user input comes from, how the prompt should look, which AI model should be used, and what output should go back. Think of it like a flow chart for AI applications. Instead of writing orchestration code, you just connect blocks visually and everything runs using a serverless architecture inside Amazon Bedrock. Let's understand how this works at a high level. First, the user enters a question. That input goes into the flow. Next, the prompt node formats the question. Then, the foundation model generates a response. Finally, the flow output sends the answer back to the user. So the flow is very simple: input, prompt, model, and output. The best part is AWS manages everything in the background fully serverless. So now let's understand how to create an Amazon Bedrock prompt flow using the AWS console. I'm currently in AWS Management Console and I'm using the North Virginia region, which is US East 1. First, search for Amazon Bedrock and select it from the list. On the left navigation menu, under Build, click on Flows and then click Create Flow. Now give the flow a name. For this demo, I'll name it as AWS Certification Assistant Flow. And for the description, I will add a simple Amazon Bedrock prompt flow that answers AWS related questions using a foundation model. Since I don't have an existing service role, I will let AWS create a new role and use that role. And I'm also not enabling encryption for this demo. So I'll keep the encryption disabled. Now click Create Flow. We are now inside the Flow Builder screen. Here, you can see three nodes already created by AWS: the flow input, the prompt, and the flow output. This means AWS already gives us a basic working flow. We just need to configure it. Let's quickly understand what each node does. The flow input node takes the user input. This is where we type our questions during testing. The prompt node contains the instructions for the AI and sends a request to the foundation model. And this node tells the AI how to respond. And the flow output node returns the response back to the user. This is how the AI answer comes back. Now let's configure the prompt node. So click on the prompt node. Here you can rename the prompt node. I will rename it as AWS Assistant. Next, choose a foundation model. For this demo, I will select Amazon Nova Lite and then click Apply. I'm not using any guardrails for now. Guardrails are optional, so I leave them disabled. For the prompt message, enter the following. So you are a helpful AI assistant. Answer the following question clearly and professionally. Here, the topic is a placeholder variable. At runtime, AWS replaces this with the actual user question. Now, click Save. This is very important. Always make sure you save the flow before testing. On the right-hand side, under Test Flow, type the following question. So, how can I prepare for AWS certification? And click Run. As you can see, the flow is working correctly. The input flows into the prompt, the model generates a response, and we can see the output on the screen. The response talks about different AWS certifications, understanding exam objectives, training and hands-on experience, study materials and study plans, and joining study groups and forums. So this confirms that our prompt flow is working as expected. So this is how we build a serverless generative AI workflow using Amazon Bedrock prompt flows. There is no infrastructure to manage, no backend code, just simple visual orchestration. Now, some common beginner mistakes are, so forgetting to enable modal access, forgetting to save the flow, and variable name mismatch, for example, using input instead of topic, and expecting modal training instead of inference. So remember, prompt flows do not train models, and prompt flows itself is free. You only pay for modal inference. So while learning, keep prompts short, test carefully, and stop testing when you're done. This helps keep cost very low. Now let's quickly do the cleanup. So go back to the flows in the Amazon Bedrock, select the flow that you created and click delete. Type delete in the confirmation box and click delete. Once this is done, the flow is removed and you're all set. That's it for today. If you have any questions, feel free to drop them in the comments below. Thank you for watching and I'll see you in the next video. Take care and happy learning.